My aim is to also to discover, impose different kinds of location and perspective experiences, maybe go as far as to find out what can be a kind of an out-of-body experience on the artist's self. I hope with the study to raise a number of queries around how we perceive and understand our body in a space as a result of the challenge of translating this experience into an artwork, and hence to the viewer who is also absent in this space. Also, scientists are still not questioning what the body is and how the body is related to the self in self-identity. This is a very scientific term which I got from the lab that I was at. They define the self seems distinct from the environment and from other humans, and it may be described as an entity, as a whole, to which certain mental events and actions are ascribed. At this lab of cognitive neuroscience at the Mind Brain Institute in Lausanne, Professor Ulrich Blanke and his team have conducted a series of studies in which their research immersed subjects, test people, normal people, via virtual reality settings into the body of an avatar. That means a second self, a virtual self. A virtual human, while monitoring psychological responses and brain activity. So, in effect, by deviating such fundamental aspects of consciousness in their subjects, such as where am I located in space and where is my body, they even swap perspectives from the first to the third person, all while measuring the change in the brain activity. I will show an example. So they set up this experiment with a video camera with a 3D converter. The test person, the subject, had a head-mounted display on. It was covered. So this is their actual body, and they are 2 meters away. 2 meters is special because patients who have experienced out-of-body experiences have often reported themselves to be more or less 2 meters away from their real body. And so in this head-mounted display, the test people see a virtual body 2 meters in front of them, from the back. They just see their back view. And the test people were stroked synchronously and asynchronously in different conditions to find out if when they were touched at the same time as they saw themselves, whether they identified more with the virtual body as opposed to when they were touched at a different pace to the touch that they saw in the virtual body. And the results of these studies show that in the synchronous condition, that means at the time when the touch and the sight was the same, that there was a self-identification with the virtual body. The virtual body feels like my body. That's demonstrated by these. And in the asynchronous condition, the mind suddenly realizes, oh, what I'm seeing is different from what I'm feeling. Okay, so you come back to your own body. To try and control whether the test had some kind of significance, the scientists then made the subject close their eyes immediately after the test control and swirl them around so they were disorientated, didn't know where they were, moved and shifted back, slow paces so they weren't aware of how far they were shifted back, but in effect they were shifted back 1.5 meters, and then they asked them to move back to the place where they felt their body to be, where they felt that they were localized. And the majority of the test people reported to of their real position. So there was a drift in self-location towards the virtual body. So, in effect, self-identification and self-location modulates how you perceive touch. Also, self-identification and self-location modulates how you perceive pain. So, I explained that in detail because I then, as an artist, came along and took this experiment that she made the lab quite well known around the world, and this is my setup, the artist setup. I have the camera and I make sure I have these 2 meters, and I stand here